Welcome, summer school students. Okay, let's unpack this. You've got that companion document, right, with the list of words.
Yep.
So today, our mission is pretty simple, where we're doing a deep dive into some of them. We'll look at meanings, how they kind of shape shift, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and really why knowing them helps you out.
It's like adding tools to your thinking toolkit, really. These words pop up everywhere.
Exactly. So recognizing them in all their forms just unlocks a deeper level of understanding.
Definitely.
Okay, no time to waste then. Let's dive straight in.
Let's do it.
How about we start with words about ideas and change, stuff that shapes the future.
Good place to start. Very dynamic.
First up, the adjectives progressive. Your companion says it's about supporting new or modern ideas, methods, often in politics, education.
Right.
To me, this word, it just always feels like it's leaning forward, striving for something better or newer.
That forward lean is spot on. Progressive isn't just new, it's specifically moving forward from maybe the traditional way. Oh, okay, so there's an implied improvement.
Often, yes. And you can see its roots clearly in the related words.
Yeah.
Progress, the verb to move forward, develop.
Right.
And progress, the noun, the actual movement or development itself. So you can track progress, you can progress in your learning.
And you can have a progressive policy.
Got it.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of new ideas, that takes us neatly to innovation. That's a noun, your doc says. A new idea, method, or invention.
Mm-hmm. And it connects perfectly. Progressive thinking often leads to innovation.
So innovation is like the result, the new thing itself.
Precisely. It's often the tangible outcome. And look at the word family here. You can innovate, that's the verb, to create new things.
Okay.
Then you've got adjectives, innovative, or even innovatory. They both mean something's new, original, maybe even groundbreaking.
Think about like smartphones when they first came out. Total innovation.
Exactly. A fundamental shift, not just a tiny tweak. That's often what innovative implies.
Okay, so we've got progressive, innovation, all about the new. What about the other side?
Ah, the contrast.
Yeah, here it is. Conventional. An adjective.
Yeah.
The companion says a conventional method or product.
Uh-huh.
But it's been used a long time. It's considered the usual type.
Exactly. Conventional is standard. It's accepted, familiar, tried and true, you might say.
The default setting almost.
Kind of. And this brings up a really interesting point, doesn't it? If conventional stuff works and is reliable, why innovate?
Good question.
When is it smart to stick with the conventional, and when is it really time to push for something progressive, something innovative? It's a constant balancing act.
For businesses, for schools, for everyone, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And related forms here. You have conventionality, the noun, sort of the quality of being conventional,
Okay.
and the adverb, conventionally, doing things in the usual way.
Right. So it's not always new is better.
Yeah.
But if you do decide to switch from a conventional approach to something new, there's a word for that transition.
Here is.
Adoption. It's a noun, meaning the act of starting to use a particular plan, method, way of speaking, whatever.
Yeah, think about, say, a school deciding, okay, no more old textbooks, we're using this new interactive software.
Right. That's the adoption of the software.
Exactly. Or a company adopts a totally new marketing strategy. It's that moment something new moves from being an idea, maybe experimental, to being actively used.
And the verb form.
Simple.
To adopt. Got it. And every new plan, every innovation, every adoption, it has to start somewhere.
Always a beginning.
That's where initial comes in. An adjective, meaning happening at the beginning,
Yep.
established from the start.
The initial idea, the initial phase, your initial reaction, it's that first step,
Stage one.
pretty much.
Right.
Where you often work out the kinks, test things out, it's foundational. And the adverb is initially.
Meaning at first.
Right. Initially, the plan seemed difficult, but then it got easier.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Let's go. Shift gears now. Completely different area.
Where are we heading?
Business and economics.
Mm.
Words for earning, spending, that kind of thing.
Okay. Money talks.
First one's pretty fundamental. Wage. It's a noun. The money you earn paid based on hours, days, or weeks worked.
Basic concept, but crucial. If you work an hourly job, you get wages.
Yeah, most people get that one directly.
And in the bigger picture, wages are a huge part of the economy. It's a cost for businesses, income for workers, that basic exchange.
And what do people usually do with their wages?
Well, they spend it, which leads to
Consumption, another noun. The definition is
Mm-hmm.
the using up of a resource.
And resource can mean almost anything, right? Electricity, food, water, clothes, gadgets.
So when you buy something and use it up, or even just use it,
Yeah.
that's consumption.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the person doing it, that's the consumer, also a noun.
Okay, consumer.
And the action itself is the verb, to consume. So a consumer consumes goods or services leading to consumption.
I see the pattern. Consume, consumer, consumption.
Yeah, that sumption ending often signals the overall process or act.
Yeah.
Handy little pattern.
Cool. So if consumers are using things up, how do they get them? Often through retail.
Mhm.
That's a noun. Your companion says, the sale of goods in shops to customers for their own use, not for selling to others.
So basically, selling stuff directly to you, the person who's actually going to use it. End consumer.
Like any shop in the mall.
Yeah.
Or a supermarket.
Exactly. Grocery stores, clothes shops, electronic stores, they're all in the retail sector. They bridge the gap between the maker and the consumer, the last step before consumption happens.
Okay. And another word for buying things, sometimes in retail, is purchase. This one's interesting. It can be a noun or a verb.
Right. As a verb, to purchase just means to buy something. Slightly more formal maybe than just buy.
I need to purchase groceries.
Yep. And as a noun, a purchase is the thing you bought. My latest purchase was this book.
Ah, okay. And there's an adjective too, purchasable.
Yeah, meaning something can be bought. Tickets are purchasable online.
Got it. So before you can purchase something in retail, somebody had to introduce it right, put it out there.
Absolutely. They had to launch it. That's the verb.
To make a new product, book, service available for sale for the first time.
Think about a big tech company launching a new phone.
Yeah, lots of hype usually.
Often. Or a publisher launching a new novel. It marks the moment something moves from behind the scenes into the public market, ready to be purchased.
And launch can also be a noun, right?
Yeah.
Like the event itself.
Exactly. The product launch was a huge success.
Okay, now, way before the launch
Yeah.
comes the planning. Companies have to figure out costs, sales, how much to make.
A lot of guesswork involved sometimes.
They have to estimate things. Let's start with estimate as a noun. Your doc says, a rough calculation of value, number, quantity.
Like getting an estimate from a builder for some work.
A perfect example. Or you estimate how long a task will take. It's that calculated guess when you don't have the exact figures.
Right. And as you said, it's also a verb to estimate. We estimate the cost will be.
Okay. And there are loads of related forms for this one.
There really are. You make an estimation, that's another noun for the calculation itself.
The person doing it is an estimator.
Yep. And then there's getting it wrong. You can overestimate guess too high or underestimate guess too low. Both verbs.
Happens all the time.
It does. And you can describe the results with adjectives. An estimated cost, an overestimated profit, an underestimated difficulty.
Wow. That family of words really covers the whole process, including the potential mistakes.
It shows how common and important estimation is, I think.
Makes sense. Okay, one last word in this business section. Generate. A verb, meaning to produce or cause something.
It's all about creation, production, bringing something into being.
Companies generate revenue.
Power plants generate electricity.
An idea can generate excitement.
Exactly. And the noun form is generation. That can be the act of producing, like power generation, or the thing produced, like a new generation of technology.
When the thing doing the generating.
That's usually a generator, like an electric generator, or sometimes a person, metaphorically. And if something has the power to generate, the adjective is generative, like generative AI.
Okay, interesting. Right, final theme for today. This is about, well, actions, possibilities, and how certain things are.
Okay, rounding it out.
First, the verb derive. It means to develop or come from something else.
It's all about origins, sources. Where does this idea derive from? What tradition does this custom derive from?
So understanding the derivation helps you understand the thing itself.
Often, yeah. It traces the roots. The noun is derivation, the origin or the process of forming something, like a word. And the adjective is derivative, which often means something isn't very original. It's clearly based on something else.
Ah, like a derivative movie plot.
Exactly. Sometimes it just means derived from, but often carries that unoriginal sense.
Got it. Next up, extend. That's a verb, meaning to continue for longer or make something last longer or stretch further.
Pretty straightforward. You can extend a deadline.
Extend your vacation.
Extend your hand to shake someone else's. Or a road can extend for miles. It's about increasing length, time, or reach.
In the noun.
Extension. Like needing an extension on an assignment. Or using an extension cord.
Makes sense. And the adjective.
Extended. Something that has been made longer. an extended warranty, an extended family.
Okay. Now, if you want to show someone how something works or prove a point clearly, you demonstrate. That's a verb.
To show or prove something clearly. Think of a science demonstration in class.
Or demonstrating how to use new software.
Right. Or even a political demonstration, people showing their viewpoint publicly. It's about making something clear through action or evidence.
And related words, noun is demonstration.
Yep. The person doing it, especially in sales or politics, is a demonstrator.
Okay.
And if something can be clearly shown or proved, it's demonstrable. That's the adjective.
So you could say the benefits are demonstrable.
Exactly. And you can even use the adverb demonstrably. Our new method is demonstrably better, meaning you can clearly show it's better.
Lots packed into demonstrate. Okay, now for a word with a sense of finality. Inevitable. Adjective.
Oh, yeah. Heavy word.
Meaning certain to happen and impossible to avoid.
If something's inevitable, oh, well, that's it. It's going to happen. No way around it.
Yeah.
Like the old saying about death and taxes.
Right. It signals a certainty that feels kind of out of our hands, predetermined.
That's a good way to put it. The noun form is inevitability, the quality of being unavoidable.
And the adverb.
Inevitably, it describes something happening in that certain, unavoidable way. The project inevitably ran over budget.
Okay. So, in stark contrast to that, our last word, voluntary. An adjective.
The opposite of unavoidable, in a way.
Yeah. Your companion starts the definition mentioning voluntary work, which gives you the idea
Yeah.
it's done by choice.
Exactly. Voluntary actions are freely chosen. You do it because you want to, not because you're forced or because it's inevitable.
Like volunteering your time.
Precisely. And the opposite adjective is involuntary, like an involuntary muscle spasm, something you don't control.
Okay.
And volunteer can also be a noun, the person doing the voluntary work.
Right, a volunteer.
And it's also a verb to volunteer, to offer your help freely.
And the adverb.
You do something voluntarily, by your own choice.
Phew. Okay, we've really unpacked quite a few words from that companion document today, summer school students.
We really have. We went from ideas and change like progressive and innovation.
Through the world of business wage, consumption, retail, launch, estimate, generate.
And landed on actions and certainty, derive, extend, demonstrate, and the big contrasts of inevitable and voluntary.
Yeah. Hopefully this deep dive, seeing all those different forms, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and hearing them used, hopefully gives you a much clearer picture.
Makes them more useful tools for you.
Exactly. Tools for understanding what you read and hear, and for expressing your own ideas more precisely.
Definitely. And maybe something to think about as you continue your studies.
Go on.
We talked about progressive ideas pushing for change and inevitable outcomes being things you can't avoid.
Right.
But can progressive actions sometimes change what seemed inevitable? Can new ways of thinking or acting shift those unavoidable paths?
That is something to think about. Can progressive ideas challenge inevitability? Interesting question.
Just a thought to leave you with.
A great one. Keep encountering these words, keep noticing how they're used, and keep exploring the language around you.